I'm David. I own and operate Country Whatnot Gardens here outside of Rochester, Indiana, which is about an hour south of the Michigan state line. I grow 25 different species and varieties of bamboo, such as that one over there. But today I'm here with a different plant that I grow here in the same garden along with the bamboo. This is a Lespedeza, not to be confused with the weed of the same name. In the background is Miscanthus. Let me see if I can get just the Lespedeza in the picture. There we go. Let's see. This is Lespedeza thunbergii, subspecies thunbergii also, and variety is Little Volcano. And it's a sterile variety of Japanese bush clover. And you can see it's not like the Lespedeza that vines. This is an upright bush. It comes up from the ground each spring, gets about 6 feet tall, and in the late fall, right before frost and freeze, it's covered with absolutely beautiful pink and purple flowers. Now, it does top kill every winter here in Zone 5B. And so before the new growth begins in the spring, you're going to want to do a little bit of a spring cleanup. Now, I do have a chicken wire cage down there in the middle of this to help keep deer and rabbits from nipping off the new shoots before they get very big, so that let me see if I can open out my stand. There we go. Okay, so it can have a chance to get started upwards before anything starts nipping at it. And then they don't typically bother it. But I'm going to try to position my camera here in a way, there we are, that I can show what I'm doing over here. So in the spring, before your new shoots start coming up off of this, you're going to want to get your garden loppers in there and take down all of this old growth, because this far north, it has been froze back by winter. Now down south, it will remain viable and leaf back out on these stems. And down south, I mean like usually zone 8 or so, I believe. And it will get a little bit larger too. And you can see it can be a little bit stubborn and tough. Let me make sure I'm not in the chicken wire. Oh no, I'm way above the chicken wire. Okay, that's good. I'm not putting nicks in my blades then. That's always good when you don't nick your garden tools. But anyway, it can be a little bit tough to do. But also, alternately, if you had a brush cutter, that would be easier. And I do have one. I just don't have it out here at the moment. But it would make really quick work of this. One quick buzz across the top and it would be done. But anyway, the new growth on this particular plant typically starts a little bit later than you would think. I think usually around late May or so. About the time you think it's not going to do anything, then it begins producing new shoots. So I'm a little bit ahead of this, and that's okay. It's better to do it earlier if you can. That way you don't risk lopping off any new shoots. But I leave the old growth stand after the freeze back so that it helps trap snow. I guess that is if we get snow in the winter, as kind of a natural mulch just over the crown. This winter we had next to no snow at all, so it didn't really matter or benefit the plant to have this snow trap, so to speak, on it anyway. And cutting back like this is optional. You don't have to. This would grow up through its old growth again just fine. It wouldn't be a problem. But it looks neater, especially in the fall when the flowers come on. If you don't have the previous year's dead growth there with the, sticking out of the bush that's, otherwise looking really pretty and in flower and everything. But there's a look at that. And come come over here and get my camera again. If you notice, this is on a raised mound. It's mounded up, oh, probably a good 10 inches. And reason being, this plant likes really well-drained, poor moisture retention soil. When I first got it a few years ago, I had it planted just at grade, at ground level, and it did not like that. It got crown rot and I nearly lost it. So I lifted it that spring that it was coming out of winter with crown rot, and I constructed a raised bed for it. This bed here is 50% topsoil and 50% 23-24 sand. So it's not super sandy because we have clay soil, but when you squeeze it and make a ball of it and poke it, it does mostly fall apart. And it's enough above grade that it allows the crown here to not be sitting in water if we get a lot of rain, because it very much dislikes that. And the plant also dislikes nitrogen fertilizer. Don't fertilize your bush clovers with nitrogen fertilizer because they themselves are a nitrogen fixer. They take nitrogen out of the air and put it into the soil. They collect and put in the soil their own nitrogen, however much they want. You could fertilize it with phosphorus and potassium, which I do sometimes, but absolutely no nitrogen. You'll kill it. You'll burn it up. But I will have to show this plant this fall when it's in bloom, because it looks vastly different. Right now it looks something like a tumbleweed. But it will begin to green up and look better before too long. And it's a plant, in my opinion, that is well worth having in the landscape because it is so beautiful in the fall, and it's like the last thing to bloom in the garden before winter comes on. I should say, with the exception of the autumn cherry. Autumn cherry does bloom here some years into January. But this bush clover, again, the variety's Little Volcano, is something that I really like to grow here in the garden. And again, it's a natural nitrogen fixer. So if you liked the video, please give me a like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you for stopping by and take care. Bye.